Alright, so in this video we're just going to be covering the operations with decimals in the Accuplacer. And so we're going to cover adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing decimals. So a lot of times with all these there's going to be comparisons with just adding like regular numbers, like how you'd add, so our first example, like let's say so if we're just adding these numbers regularly, we would just add straight down all across. But with decimals, it's going to be a little bit different. The only difference is, so if we were to compare 2.45 plus, now the only difference is I'm going to line up the decimal. So if this is 1.3, we're just going to line it up right here. And with any extra space, just add a 0. So add straight down just like you would with regular. It's 5, 4 plus 3 is 7, drop the decimal, 2 plus 1 is 3. So let's try another example with addition. Now what if we had 4.01 plus 0.2 plus 8.891. This is very much a question you'll see on the arithmetic part of the Accuplacer. There'll be like 3 parts, and you could add them all 3 at once. I usually just do them in parts. So first, I'm just going to add these two. So 4.01 plus, again, all you need to do is just, the only new rule with decimals is just line up the decimal point. So 0.20. And I put in a 0 because 2 fell into place. So add just like you normally would. 1 plus 0, 0 plus 2, and 4. Alright, so this part is 4.21 plus 8.891. So just don't forget to go back and do the rest. That's a common mistake with these. And again, just put in a 0 for the extra space. So add like you normally would. 9 plus 1, that's 10. Put the 1 up here. 2 plus 8, that's 10. 11. 8 plus 4 is 12. Plus the 1 is 13. And the decimal point goes down here. So your final answer would be 13.101. So the same rules apply with subtracting as well. You just need to line up the decimals, that's all. So alright, 7.99 minus 3.1. Again, just like with all the other videos, always try to pause and try to do these on your own. And once you run out of ideas, just resume the video. So 9 minus 0, that's just 9. 9 minus 1 is 8. Drop the decimal point. 7 minus 3 is 4. So that's your final answer, 4.89. Let's try this one. So just like with regular subtracting, when you have regrouping, you'll have regrouping here as well. So 7.89 minus Alright, so 8.89, 4.235.6, and again, just fill in with zeros. Alright, so just like you would with regular subtracting, we're going to regroup here. So now you can't take 1 from 0, so you go to the next number, and this one becomes 9, this one becomes 10, and this one becomes 8. So 10 minus 6, that's 4. 9 minus 5, that's 4. 8 minus 3 is 5. 8 minus 2 is 6. Drop your decimal point. 7 minus 4 is 3. So that's your final answer. Alright, so with moving on to multiplying decimals, we multiply just like it's a regular number, and at the very end we worry about the decimal place. So let's try 1.25 times 8.3. Okay. So just multiply just like you would with regular numbers. So we do 125 times 8.3. Notice you don't need to line up the decimal place anymore. So 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 2 is 6, plus the 1 is 7. 3 times 1 is just 3. So I multiplied just like it was regular numbers. Put your zero placeholder like you normally would with 2 digits. So 8 times 5 is 40. 0, 4. 8 times 2 is 16, plus 4 is 20. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 2 is 10. Add the two numbers, 5, 7, 3, 0, 1. Now we worry about the decimal point at the very end. So how many place values is the decimal point? 1, 2, and 1. So altogether that's 1, 2, and 3. So you move 3 places over. That's your answer. You go 1, 2, 3. So your final answer is 10.375. Let's take a look at one more, or two more multiplication. Let's do Alright, so pause the video and try to do these on your own. And once you're done, review and we'll go over them. So this first one, times 4. So 4 times 2 is just 8. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 0 again is 0. The decimal point, there is no decimal here, so we don't count it. The decimal point here is 1, 2. So you go 2 over. Alright, so this next one, just like you normally multiply, 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 2 is 10, plus the 2 is 12. 5 times 1 is 5, plus the 1 is 6. 0, 0 times 0, 0, and 0 again. And so this is 3 decimal places, because 1 from here and 2 from here, so you move over 3 places. That's your final answer. Alright, so moving on to division. Now, if you're already not good at long division, I would look for some online help with that. Or just ask me in person next time you see me. So yeah, you're gonna need to know long division for these, for dividing decimals. So if you already do, let's go ahead and give it a shot. 6.8 divided by 4. So just like we would with normal long division, how many times can 4 go into 6? Only once. So put the 1 up here. 1 times 4 is just 4. Subtract 2. Oh, and the decimal place, it just rises up right at the same point, just straight up. So just like you would with normal long division, drop down the 8. How many times can 4 go into 28? 7 times. That's 0. So our answer is 1.7. Let's try one more. So there are no decimals here, but since this is an odd number and this is an even number, I know that in the answer there's going to be a decimal. Or traditionally a remainder, but now we're going to deal in decimals. So 2 173. So by the way, make sure you know where to put the numbers so the 2 goes outside and the 173 goes inside. Not the other way around. So 2 can't go into 1, so we move on. How many times can 2 go into 17? 2 times 6 is 12, so we can go on more. 2 times 8 is 16. So, oh, sorry. We put the 8 up here. 2 times 8 is 16. Subtract. 17 minus 16 is just 1. Drop down the 3. How many times can 2 go into 13? 6 times. That is just with 12. 13 minus 12 is 1. Now, traditionally that would be 86 with a remainder of 1. But if we want the answer as a decimal, once we get to this, once we're out of numbers to drop down, we put a decimal point here, and we add another 0, and drop that down. So how many times can 2 go into 10? 5 times. And we're done. We don't have any more remainders. So 86.5 is our answer.